Alright, welcome back to another Q&A. I want to go ahead and apologize. I'm also going to complain just for a little bit. As you can tell, my voice is very echoey again. If you watched yesterday's video, you would have noticed that I had actually put up acoustic foam, so I sounded a lot better in that video. You can only hear my voice. There's no echo back, but you are going to hear that echo in this video, because unfortunately the foam didn't actually stick to the wall. I'm still going through the process of actually figuring out how I'm going to keep it up on this wall. I tried Velcro, but the Velcro isn't working, and now I'm running into a problem where I'm trying to pull away the Velcro from the wall, and it's pulling paint from the wall, which is fine. I can repair that later, but damn, it's frustrating. Alright, now that my venting's out of the way, let's get into the Q&A. When will you be doing your next Epic Gear Showcase or online episode? I really enjoy your Epic Gear Showcases. I'm going to do another Epic Gear Showcase sometime soon, probably after the release of Adam, so that Adam can be in the video, and I'll probably give it like a week, maybe a week and a half, maybe even 2 weeks, but around that time is where you can expect to see another level 20 Epic Gear loadout series. I just want to make sure I have enough Adam gear to justify him being in the video. Which guest characters do you wish made it into the game? Personally, I don't think Raiden should have been in the game. I think they should have went for Johnny Cage. The reason I think Johnny Cage would have been a superior pick over Raiden is because Johnny Cage has a lot of potential for comedy in the game, which isn't there for most characters, and I think he could work particularly well, especially because of all the amazing animation work you could do with him. I would really love to see him show up in the next Injustice game if there's going to be a MK DLC character, which I'm assuming there will be, just because, you know, MK is a popular series. A lot of people who play Injustice play MK, so it makes sense. Will you do a face reveal? Probably at some point, but not anytime soon. I would imagine the earliest time I'll do a face reveal is early next year. Do you think it's a good thing to pick up a character from each category, like rushdown, zoning, grappler? I think in general it's a good idea, but if you're new to the game, picking up one individual character is definitely the way to go. Play around with each of the characters at first just to get an idea of what playstyle you like, and then really stick with one character, figure out all of his strings, figure out why you want to use different strings over other strings, figure out whatever mix-up they have available, figure out what crosses up, figure out how you can convert different things. It's just best to stick with one character, especially while you're still learning. But obviously once you get to a certain point, like I did with Batman, obviously Injustice 2 was my first fighting game, and once I got to a certain point with Batman, I felt comfortable with him, and I was like, okay, well now I can start playing other characters on the roster, and I started figuring out how easy it was to pick up new characters, and that's why I made, you know, yesterday's video, even though I figured that out quite some time ago. Are you working on legendary multiverses, and if so, what character? I really should be. Recently I've been slacking. I've been playing a lot of League of Legends in my spare time rather than playing the multiverse, even though I could be playing both of them at the same time because AI multiverses. I've just been incredibly lazy, so my apologies for that. And if I was working on a legendary multiverse, I'd probably be doing Deadshot because of the amount of potential credit gold you can earn from that. For people who don't know, you can actually unlock Deadshot's legendary gear, and he can supply you with a contract, and if you complete that contract, you get 50,000 credits and sometimes other rewards, I think. But 50,000 credits, man, that sounds pretty good. Would you like Huntress as a premier skin for Black Canary? I was actually pretty surprised Huntress didn't show up in the game in any form or fashion. Obviously, probably not as a Black Canary premier skin, because you don't want Huntress to be able to emulate that scream. I don't think there's anything that she has to really emulate that. Obviously, she could do it with some type of technology, but I just would prefer Black Canary to be the only one with that capability. Also, there's a lot of stuff that Huntress has that you would want her to be able to do in her own moveset from a design perspective, like the crossbows and all that good stuff, that I'm sure they'll be able to explore sometime in the future when they decide to add her into a future game, because I'm sure they're going to at some point, because Huntress is a really cool character. Female representation is always good, especially in a fighting game where we don't have very many. So Huntress, I think, is a good idea for future games, rather than forcing her to be a premier skin for a character she doesn't necessarily suit. What if they made a new 52 Captain Cold skin for Sub-Zero? I mean, it would work theoretically, but we already have Captain Cold in the game, and getting a new 52 version of the character sounds appealing, but the amount of work that would go into that would probably be best served for something else. Part of the appeal of having a premier skin is getting characters in the game who otherwise wouldn't be there. So getting Captain Cold in the game, even though we already have Captain Cold, even though it's a new 52 version and it's significantly different because he has metahuman powers instead of the gun, I don't know, it still doesn't feel good. I think you would prefer to have a different premier skin. Do you think that one of the interactions between TMNT and Green Arrow should mention the fact that Casey Jones was played by Stephen Amell? Yeah, of course. This is such an easy reference to throw out. I would be shocked if they didn't do this. Leonardo could be like, hey Casey, is that you? And then Green Arrow can be like, who's that? And yeah, they can do something with that. Again, I would be absolutely shocked if they didn't do this. Do you think that there could be Crime Syndicate premier skins? Ultraman for Superman, Power Ring for Green Lantern, Owlman for Batman, and Johnny Quick for the Flash. Again, part of the appeal to having premier skins is that they change the character into a character that we otherwise wouldn't have gotten in the game because of the limited roster size. Johnny Quick, Owlman, Power Ring, Ultraman, none of these characters were ever going to show up on the roster, and I think a better way to include them into the game would be through gear. Unfortunately, that didn't end up happening this time. This is Injustice 2, NetherRealm's first attempt at the gear system, so I'm okay with them being slightly more conservative about what they do. So for example, we didn't get true Batman Beyond stuff, we didn't get Power Ring stuff, we didn't get Ultraman stuff, we didn't get Owlman stuff, we didn't get Johnny Quick stuff, but I think it's something that they'll probably expand on in the future, not necessarily in Injustice 2, but I think they're going to get more and more detailed with the gear system as they progress through it. Just give them time to really work with this system. That being said, considering that this is the first time that they've done it, I think they really did a good job. Do you think instead of a Fighter Pack 4, a Premier Skin Pack could be released with 3 or 4 skins? I think this is certainly much more likely than the idea of a Fighter Pack 4. People like to point at Ed Boon's statement where he said that, oh, we're going to be releasing DLC content well into 2018 and beyond. People need to remember that when Ed Boon's doing interviews like this, he's running around doing interview after interview after interview. The fact that we can't find him saying this ever again, and it was just kind of a one-off thing, makes it feel to me that it was much more of a mistake. When you talk about these things on a daily basis and you're drained and you're going from event to talk about the same thing every single day, it has to be incredibly draining, and making a mistake like this is completely understandable. I certainly don't think that Fighter Pack 4 is going to be a thing, but it could be entirely wrong. I certainly hope I'm wrong. More DLC characters the better, but I don't think it's going to happen. Now, a Premier Skin Pack I could totally see being more likely. But I don't have any strong feelings about it either way. Now, I don't normally respond to things like this because it's just kind of silly to respond to stuff like this because people who are going to be like this are going to be like this anyway. But I just want to address something that you might notice in the background of my gameplay sometimes. And this guy asks, you really need to get better at this game. This was on a video where I was playing Darkside on PC, and I don't play Darkside. Most of you guys will know that I don't play Darkside. But I do want to illustrate why I sometimes play these characters that I'm bad at and I put them in the video, is because a lot of the time when I'm playing Injustice 2, especially now, I'm playing on PC, and a lot of people who are new to PC, or sorry, new to Injustice 2 are on the PC, and I know roughly how good I am at each character, and after I play a match with somebody online, I can usually get an idea of what character I should be playing based on their skill level. So if I run into someone who I think is really bad, I'm gonna play Darkside because it gives them a fighting chance, because I know I'm awful at Darkside. So when you say I really need to get better at the game, you're right, I do need to get a lot better with Darkside. I also think it's just kind of fun to have more characters on the channel. Do you guys really want to watch Batman sets over and over and over again? I'm looking out for you. When you leave comments like this on YouTubers' channels, it forces them to play one character because they get comments like this and they don't want to see comments like this. I'm not too fazed by it because I like playing different characters. But the reason why you see, certain YouTubers, I'm not going to name names because I don't want to put anyone on blast, but the reason why you see almost every YouTuber out there play a few different characters rather than a lot of different characters is because they have to worry about people like this. I prefer variety on my channel, but if you just want to keep watching Batman sets, I'm sure there's another YouTuber out there for you. Would you like Flashpoint Premier skins for characters who were present during the story? Absolutely. So many of the Flashpoint costumes were really cool. Obviously Thomas Wayne, all this stuff would be really cool. But again, similar to what I said about Johnny Quick and all the other characters earlier on, I think it's kind of best suited for the gear system. Obviously, ideally, we'd want them to be Premier skins because there's a lot of voice line possibilities there, but we have to realize there's limitations to budget and time consumption that can be spent on making a game. So in general, I think it's probably just best that characters like this, characters from Flashpoint, characters from Crime Syndicate, be a part of the gear system rather than Premier skins, because we would prefer other characters to be Premier skins. That being said, I obviously don't think we're going to get Flashpoint gear in the game anytime soon, or at all, but it's actually something that could work. Obviously, Thomas Wayne's bat symbol could obviously very easily work. His cowl, his cape, all of that good stuff would all theoretically work. It's just it would take a long time. And again, this is NetherRealm's very first time at trying to do something like this. So bear with them while they get the hold of this stuff, and hopefully we can get more references moving forward. Do you think Steppenwolf could be a premier skin for Darkside? Absolutely not. Darkside has a lot of really specific animations. So for example, we see him with his arms tied behind his back because he's kind of taunting the opponent. His eye beams, all of his omega beams, all that good stuff is very specific to Darkside, where Steppenwolf, a lot of what you want to do with Steppenwolf is like axe related and pretty much everything we saw in the movie, right? That's what we want to see Steppenwolf do, and having him just copy what Darkside does, even though Steppenwolf doesn't do omega beams, it would just be really weird. If you really want Steppenwolf in a game, we probably want to vouch for him to be DLC rather than, a premier skin for Darkside. Every Injustice game so far has had 3 Bat Family members: Batman, Robin / Nightwing, and DLC Batgirl and Red Hood. So does that mean we will have Red Robin in the main roster and Batwoman as DLC? That's of course the ideal situation for me, because that's my prediction that I made quite a while back. I love the Batwoman character and I really want her to be in an Injustice game because of her story in the Injustice comics that I really enjoyed. And if that doesn't happen, I'm not going to be like super disappointed or anything, but it would certainly make me incredibly happy, and I would go out of my way to main that character out of respect, because damn, that character is awesome. Do you think they will release gear/premier skins inspired by Rocksteady's Arkham series? The fact that we haven't got it yet, I think is pretty good evidence to suggest that we won't. Hopefully one day, but in all honesty, if you really want to play Batman Arkham in Injustice 2, the mobile app has him, and the mobile app is a ton of fun. If that's something you're interested in, then go check that out, man. It's a ton of fun. Thank you guys for all the amazing questions. Yet again, you guys kill it every single week. It's honestly super awesome. Thank you guys so much for watching this video. My name has been Bilbzy, and I will see you in tomorrow's video.
Holy mackerel.